That snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We
you want one
can't,
quick question?
we can't ask Rashad questions.
All right, so I'm about to watch this MTV Cribs thing. I see 3 people in here. If y'all want me to answer any basketball questions, I'll answer them. Right now, I'm about to look at this random video about MTV Cribs being fake. Well, when MTV Cribs, it was on when I was a kid. I always thought it was the craziest thing in the world. And 50 Cent had the craziest crib. That's the one crib I remember the most, bro. Because he had it was like a 50 bedroom crib, 30 bathrooms. It was something stupid like that. And then his garage was like a car dealership. So it's crazy that he's like the voice or the thumbnail picture on both of these things. All right, here we go. We about to watch this junk. Shout out to Sunny V2. I'm about to thumbs up your stuff and subscribe. All right.
Ferraris, they were rented. Robbie Williams' castle home, it belonged to someone else. MTV Cribs wasn't exactly legit.
And we said that that was my house.
Oh, that wasn't your house?
No, it's all lies.
And nothing shows this better than the episode with Ja Rule. He flexed his 5-bedroom mansion on Star Island in Miami, where he talked about living beside other famous celebrities. The house was so familiar that Ja Rule named each area, calling his courtyard the Open Paradise, which was patrolled by his guard dog Cookie. It was shown in the intro that the property was a rental, but this was assumed to be on a long-term basis, given he knew almost everything about the mansion. However, as it turns out, Ja Rule's house on Cribs was actually a 4-day rental, which was exposed in the most...
Hey, wait, hold on. Before we continue with the Ja Rule thing, because didn't Ja Rule have the 5 Fest or whatever and stuff like that? That's crazy. Ja Rule's got a crazy track record. With JoJo. It was one time last year we had a Friendsgiving and we did karaoke after we ate and laughed and stuff like that. And we was having a good time, a good old time. And the girl whose crib it was, she's like, "Oh, I want to go next. I want to go next." And she plays a song and it's JoJo, Get Out. Get out right now. It's the end of you. And she just looks at us. She don't even sing it. If anything, she just sang the Get Out. And she kind of looks at us and goes, "Get out." I said, "Are you kicking us out the house?" It was a crazy way to kick us out the house. Anyways.
embarrassing way by lawsuit. Ja Rule paid $46,000 for the 4-day lease, promising the mansion's owner it'd be used as a private home for 8 adults with no video shoots and no loud parties. Well, Ja Rule broke all 3 conditions, shooting his MTV episode whilst having a party with over 600 people. In the process, holes were punched in the walls, furniture and doors were damaged, the driveway somehow cracked, while condoms and syringes were left throughout the house. As a result, Ja Rule and MTV were sued for $1 million, but at least it looked like a house that Ja Rule would live in, as the Yin Yang Twins' crib was laughably out of character. The Atlanta gangster rapping duo opened the door revealing the most suburban house, filled with fish tanks, sailing boats, and sea-related artwork.
We waving like the sea. We decorated this ourselves now.
That mansion was definitely decorated by some old white people, not the Yin Yang Twins.
This is clearly just a random old white guy's house that likes to fish and likes boats.
That even argue over where they bought appliances and had to improvise names for each of the fish. You can tell the Yin Yang Twins have never been in that house. It seemed they...
Hey, and Yin Yang created one of them created the Bankhead Bounce, the one that Michael Jackson did. Fun fact.
At least owned the vehicles at the end, as the cars displayed by Bow Wow were rented for the show. He was just 18 years old during his first Cribs appearance, but despite having starred in some high-profile movies, it seemed unrealistic that he could afford a 6-bedroom mansion.
Stop that. Bow Wow can afford a 6-bedroom mansion, bro. Bow Wow at 18, they said just 18. That was the peak of Bow Wow's career. That's literally Bow Wow starts to go down, bro. Bow Wow by that point already did the album, already co-signed by Snoop, already co-signed by Jermaine Dupri, already done toured the world, already done did Like Mike, already did Roll Bounce at that point at 18, already had Fresh as I'm Is. I think at this point, I don't know, this is probably around the time of Let Me Love You, going into that era, his last couple hits and stuff like that.
and a fleet of luxury cars. With his name airbrushed above his bed, it seemed as though Bow Wow at least owned the house, although the luxury vehicles were a little more suspicious, because 2 years later he'd go on the show again, during which a viewer made an observation. We had
Ain't this the one? So they say he rented his cars. Bow Wow also had the Bow Wow challenge where he was like getting on the PJ and someone found out that it was just a Google image thing that he pulled up.
MTV Cribs running in the background and watch 21-year-old Bow Wow show off his bachelor pad in Miami, along with his pimped out Bentley, Lamborghini, and Cadillac Escalade. But then we noticed the word Prestige at the bottom of all three cars and decided to Google Prestige Rental Cars Miami, and what do you know, there it was. Prestige was the name of the company that Bow Wow rented the cars
That is some extreme hating to do that Google search, but I respect it.
from, which was likely encouraged by the show, as Birdman also used the service during his appearance. Regardless, people clowned on Bow Wow, stating, "Ha ha ha, I wonder if he rented the condo too," which by looking at his life was also highly likely. For example, he'd post his Ferrari to his Instagram, writing, "Take the drop top to the night spot. Keep the California in California. We went hard tonight, Grammy weekend," which was then reposted by a car rental company who accidentally exposed our good friend Bow Wow pulling up to the Grammys with our Ferrari California. 1 year later, it was exposed for flexing a rented Hollywood mansion, but the worst example was in 2017 when he'd post this to his Instagram.
There it is.
He showed the private jet he was taking to his concert, yet the very same day this Snapchat went viral. So this guy Lil Bow Wow is on my flight to NY, but on Instagram he posted a picture of a private jet caption traveling to NY today, shaking my head. Turns out Bow Wow's picture of his private jet had been taken from a limo company's website, prompting people to dig even deeper, discovering he'd done this on more than one occasion. It seems his MTV Cribs episode led to years and years of faking luxury, but as mentioned in Bow Wow's expose, 50 Cent had done a similar thing. 50 Cent's episode was the definition of excess. He showed his 19-bedroom, 35-bathroom mansion, which included a squash court, movie theater, recording studio, and its very own nightclub. Equally impressive was his car collection, which included 4 different rare collectible Ferraris, leading him to state,
I know you ain't see these before when you was watching Cribs because everybody ain't got these.
Yet it seems 50 Cent didn't have them either. Each Ferrari had little numbers on their windshields, leading to a forum post reading, "If you notice the small white numbers in the top left-hand corner of the windshields on the F50 and Enzo, those are the numbers of the cars that were in the Hartford Concorso parade," which was confirmed when the user posted these photos. Another forum member added, "It's pretty obvious that they aren't his, because it's a known fact that there's only one yellow Enzo in CT, which was owned by a pretty well-known hedge fund manager." Well, someone else then officially confirmed. The Ferraris are unfortunately not 50 Cent's. He invited my friend over to his house for this, and my friend let him use his cars for the episode, and they were filming some music videos that day as well. The Enzo F50 and 599 all belonged to one owner. When 50 Cent later filed for bankruptcy, he'd admit the cars were rented. He'd instead pay off debts by selling his mansion, therefore joining the likes of JoJo, who admitted to doing MTV Cribs while she was actually homeless. JoJo showed
What? Yo, I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy. That one I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming.
MTV through her Cape Cod vacation home, where she supposedly loved spending her summers. It was therefore a little weird that she'd invite her extended family.
How was JoJo? I'm sorry for pausing if you're watching this live. How was JoJo homeless? Like she was popping. Like she was on Disney Channel. Like, you know what I'm saying? How is JoJo homeless?
But she'd reveal the reason for this exactly 10 years later. JoJo was asked about the episode in a Huffington Post interview, to which she'd respond, "It was so ridiculous. The thing is, we didn't have a home at that point. My mum and I were living out of suitcases and were mostly in hotels. So that was actually my uncle."
So she's saying she's okay. So she wasn't homeless because she was broke. She was like without a home. She didn't buy a home because she was always on the road.
people's house on the Cape. That wasn't my house, that wasn't my stuff. I should have balled hard and been like, welcome to my crib, look at how luxurious it is, and I should have rented out a place. But no, I just used my uncle's crib. JoJo further clarified.
So we went to the Cape, which I've like never been to the Cape. I like never go to the Cape. And we said that that was my house.
Oh, that wasn't your house?
No, that was not my house. We brought in some like items that I had. It's all lies.
Should also answer the question.
Why even bother doing the episode then?
For the exposure. Oh, okay.
But no episode was faker than the one by Robbie Williams. He showed MTV his massive British castle, talking about the spots where he'd been snapped by paparazzi. He then shows his group of friends before making a joke.
I don't really know these people, but what I do is I actually phone Rent a Friend.
But apparently he'd also phoned Rent a Castle. You see, the building was so big that people recognized it as the famous St. Catherine's Court, which was owned by someone else completely, Jane Seymour. She had no idea that Robbie ever went there, or that he'd hired a fake butler to help out with the shoot. It wouldn't be until 17 years later that Robbie finally admitted, we didn't let Jane know that I was gonna pretend it was my house. And because I was like 23 and full of spunk, I didn't even consider other people's thoughts or feelings. So I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to Jane Seymour, but it might not have even been Robbie Williams' fault. Because Redman explained in a DJ Vlad interview that MTV tried to get him to rent a house for Cribs.
They wanted me to rent a house so I could open the big double doors and shit like, yo, look at my shit, you know.
With MTV trying to choose the home themselves.
The first thing they said was, all right, we got a couple of houses picked out for you.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, Redman simply refused.
And I said, you know what? No, I don't want to rent a house. I want y'all to come to my house.
Accidentally making the show's most relatable episode. He brought MTV Cribs to his 2-bedroom apartment where he ironed his shirts on the floor and flexed his frozen fish fillets. Redman's recording studio was just a messy bedroom, whilst the rest of his house was in such disarray, you could barely notice his cousin sleeping on the ground. He concludes the episode stating, next time y'all need to find me, just rub these 2 wires for the doorbell.
Don't worry about the screen too. You know, it's still good.
The realest episode of MTV Cribs. Redman didn't fake it like other celebrities.
All right, cool. I was waiting to say stuff. So here we go. So one thing that Cam the Artisan said, shout out to Cam the Artisan, he was just on channel about a week ago. But in one interview, they asked him, what do you wish that rappers would stop doing? And he said, stop lying about how much money they're actually making. And this is Cam, you know, this is like an underground independent artist, you know, that gets a couple of business deals and promo deals and advertisements each year. You know, he's been on Sprite campaign, the different other campaigns and stuff like that, TV show placements and stuff. But, you know, he's still pretty underground and still independent. You know what I'm saying? He's not the TDEs and all the other names that you want to name and stuff like that. And he said, stop lying about the money you're making. So imagine at the major level, people still lying about how much they're making. In particular, why does Bow Wow feel like he need to flex? Bow Wow, you were Bow Wow, bro. You're Bow Wow. Like, I remember when I interviewed him and I told him, I'll insert that clip in here if you know, if I could do it. About me just saying, like, bro, like, I looked up to you. Like, you inspired an entire generation of kids that wanted to be like you.
She's near 30-year-olds. 20 years ago, I remember I was in the scooter in my living room in a big jersey, hopping off, doing a little Harlem Shake, everything to you on TV.
Right.
I wanted cornrows because of you and Ellen Iverson. You know, it is what it, but to wrap up,
all the girls wanted you at that age and stuff like that. You were like the black Justin Bieber. And so for him to feel like kind of almost insecure to the point where he wanted to sell this lifestyle of who Bow Wow was for years and years, and still even to this day he does some stuff where it's just like, bro, like, you don't have to do this. Like, you're Bow Wow, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of strange and it's sad. I remember I interviewed Bass Swag. You can look at that Bass Swag interview up here, and Bass Swag is he wasn't really saying much to me at the beginning of the interview. Like, it took him, I had to figure out throughout the interview, like, it's like chess doing interviews sometimes with people when they're not talking, of what's going to get them to like talk, of like hitting that gold mine and getting the rush or whatever once you hit it. Ayo. But with him, you know, before I got there, I'm just poking around. He's giving me short answers, one word answers, two word answers. And one thing he said was in the middle of it while I'm asking questions back to back. He just goes, "Yeah, I got 2 carat on my wrist." And he's you know, doing this jury round. I'm trying to ask questions. He's like, "I'm trying to pop it right now. What is we talking about? I'm trying to pop it." And you know, so then he said, "I don't really like the flashy stuff." So I was like, "So why do you have on flashy stuff?" He said, "I'm an artist. I have to sell the lifestyle, sell the thing." Like, do you like J. Cole didn't have? He's like, J. Cole did it first, and I'm like, "Yeah, you make a good point." And we had an entire discussion about that. I don't know what the purpose is to sell a over the top, exaggerated luxury lifestyle. I don't get the point of that. I get wanting to live an abundant lifestyle and things of that sort, but why lie about it? You know what I'm saying? And the people that actually have it, like someone like a Tyler the Creator, where he said he used to lie about the cars and money and stuff and deals that he was making before he was having it. Now that he has it, he pops it a little bit, but it's not over the top every single song and just like get my money and change. It's not annoying. And I don't know why people are so obsessed with that idea. I might even get why a celebrity will rent a crib for cribs, you know, because you can flex it and it's not your property, so people can't come on your property and, you know, ABC. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, dude, it's never been that serious. Like, you trying to impress a bunch of strangers, you trying to stunt on like haters and the opposition and stuff like that who really don't really care about you. They really just trying to get more money for themselves. And then you have kids, it's like literally killing to get to the spot that you're at, you know, and stuff like that. And will do anything for that spot. And you're portraying a fake image. So when they get up there, it's not even what they thought it would be. And it's just it's all that stuff. I don't know, man. Flexing is crazy. Cause it's like I think it's cool to pop it and to flex with stuff that's actually going on. Like Flage is literally one of the best players in college basketball right now. And her song with Lil Wayne, first of all, she's got a song with Lil Wayne while she's still in college in Louisiana and performed it at the Smoothie King Center before going back to play at Baton Rouge and being a top 5 player in college basketball this season. Not only that, with Flage, everything she says, bro, is the truth, bro. You can see the numbers and what she's getting in NIL. You can see what she's doing on the court. You can see where she's projected to go in the WNBA draft. And you saw her perform her song with Lil Wayne on the stage with Lil Wayne at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. And you hear the song, I was saying that to get to this point, being used as promo for the Super Bowl coming to New Orleans. It doesn't get bigger than that in America. So when she pop it, she's backing it up with facts. And that's all I want, bro. It's like if you're gonna pop it and flex and ooh, that's cool to do all of those things, but like just make sure that you're up there first before you do it. That's all I'm saying. My name is Rashad Milligan. This is the Road to 5K subs. I appreciate the support so much. I love you all. I promise, bro. I promise, boy. On me, boy. Hey, look. I love you, boy. I love you, girl. I love you, sis. I love you, king. I love you, queen. I love you, binary. Hey, forever. Y'all be easy, man. Until next time.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon, we can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.